Jermell Charlo, the Charlo brother, who's still at junior middleweight, 154-pound WBC champion, who knocked out Erickson Lubin. Elaborates a little bit more on the Ronnie Sheilds splits and says that he's better than any fighter that Ronnie Sheilds has, including his brother Jermall Charlo. We back with the Boxing Clinic and more. Y'all know what it is. We back with the Boxing Grind. A lot of good videos coming. But if you ever seen the Charlos kind of argue, they argue about who's better and who's not. And I've always said Jermell was better. A lot of people didn't notice the Charlos, so they came on the world championship scene. And I've seen it with my own eyes. Jermell Charlo is the better overall boxer. Jermall is just more physically imposing. But he's very skilled as well, and he's catching up. But, you know, we know Jermall is big. He about 6'2", he a little bit bigger, punch harder. But Jermell is coming in the punching power category. And if you haven't seen some of his older fights, he boxes and moving. He boxes and moves. He's quick. He's a good defensive counter puncher. And now with Derrick James, he's becoming more of an offensive juggernaut. But he said, I guess it was the Ronnie Sheilds fight he was talking about. I'll put the interview link in the description as usual. That Ronnie Sheilds, I believe, when the Ronnie fight, was disrespecting him. He said he was yelling at me. He said, ain't no man going to disrespect me in the corner. And he noted that was one of the reasons that he split with Ronnie Sheilds. It also was reported in the Ring magazine. I did a video a long time ago. He split from Ronnie Sheilds because he wanted to move closer to Dallas, Texas. He wanted to have his own. He had his own gym closer to Dallas, and it was over the money split between him and Ronnie Sheilds. The money wasn't right or whatever it may be, and it was a number of things I would guess that was going on. Obviously, there was some friction going on between the communication. He didn't like the way Ronnie Sheilds was talking to him, and he says he's better than every fighter that Ronnie Sheilds has, and he's willing to prove it versus Lara, which a lot of people say, oh, why are you going to fight Lara? He's called out Lara several times. He said he's willing to fight Lara. He says he's willing to do it. He says that training with Errol Spence is way harder than training. It's way harder and it's sharpening his skills better than training with Lara and Ronnie Sheilds. He said Derrick James is absolutely a better trainer than Ronnie Sheilds. He says that Derrick James and him talk every day. They're like best friends. And I guess him and Ronnie wasn't that cool. And I guess, personalities grow apart. Jermall is still with Ronnie Sheilds. So, obviously that's working. And the Plex Gym is working for them. But he's ready to locked and loaded to do what he got to do versus Lara, which will be a very interesting fight because Lara helped groom the Charlo twins. But he says that the sparring with Errol Spence is that much better. And in my opinion, he is better than his twin. A lot of people don't know what I'm speaking on because they haven't studied the tape on Charlo before he got with Derrick James. But if you look at his tape in the boxing ability that he does possess and now the offensive ability that he possesses, his feet is better than Jermall's. His boxing ability, IQ is better than Jermall's as well. It's not a big difference between them. It's just Jermell was always fighting a better competition. He was a better boxer. He was, Jermall is a good boxer in his own right. Styles make fights. But I just prefer Jermell, and I always prefer Jermell over Jermall. And maybe if he would have got that Demetrius Andrade fight and knocked out Andrade or beat Andrade, maybe we would have a different conversation talking about Jermell. But at the end of the day, they're both solid fighters. And him and Lara is gonna be a fight where they should market that as good as they can. This is kind of like the mentor, and the pupil. This is a good fight. And I know Ronnie. I mean, that's definitely gonna be a hard fight for Jermall. The other Charlo twin at the middleweight, he said he doesn't want them two to fight. But, Jermell's going to have to do what he got to do. He's not with that camp no more. And Lara tried to pull his whole card already. So he's going to have to do what he got to do. And I know he's going to be sitting there, Jermall. It's going to be hard for him to watch the fight. I don't even think he may not be at the fight. Especially with the beef between Ronnie Sheilds and between Lara now and Jermell Charlo. He's laying down the gauntlet. Jermell is laying down the gauntlet. He wants to go through with this. If Lara beats hurt, most people believe Lara will be hurt. This is going to be a fight that they really should market. And it's the background and do a 24/7 or all access on this. The background in this fight, with the issues and everything in between, it's going to be epic between Lara and Jermell Charlo. And we're going to see if Jermell Charlo is ready to make that jump versus Lara. And it's going to be interesting. He said, the other brother Jermall said, our kids play together. It's hard. We all still family. They still probably stay in that Houston area, and it's going to be tough for them to watch. But at the end of the day, you got to do what you got to do. It's a good fight. But he did say that. I mean, he said training with Earl is harder. He said, and then the reporter asked him, he says, like I said, I'm going to leave the interview in the description. He says, What's the difference in, Derrick James? What's the secret with the Derrick James gym? He says the ring temperature is the difference. He says the ring temperature is definitely the difference. And that's how Kronk used to be. Kronk, Emmanuel used to have, used to be hot and used to build mean and tough fighters. And the heat can make a coward to anybody. Humidity and heat can make the coward to anybody. But Jermell laid down the gauntlet. He said he better than any fighter on Ronnie Sheilds' roster, including his brother, Erickson Lara. He said Derrick James is a better trainer as well. And Charlo's are very outspoken. I want to see the rebuttal from that camp and from his brother. But let me know what y'all think. We gone.